I was at a GP visit for an unrelated matter, and she had mentioned, Sherry, it's been about 3.5 years since your last pap smear. That's what it was called back then. I think once I'd heard from the gynaecologist and she told me it was cancer, and she was very pragmatic about it and very matter of fact, and said it's completely fine, we can treat this, it will require a total hysterectomy. It made me feel quite secure in the fact that, okay, well, yes, I've got the diagnosis, but once they have the surgery, that'll be that.
It wasn't until she was coming out of hospital and she was actually having to get up and move to really see how invasive or how hard it was on her body. Not having a great understanding of it to work through it, to know how to help or how to help fix it, that was probably the most difficult bit.
I realised not long after the surgery that I'd had pelvic lymphedema, and I remember being out in the garden one day, and Mick and I had been working renovating a house, and it was particularly hot, and I'd come in to have a shower, and it had blown up to like a whole nother proportion, and I was thinking, what is going on? Like, what is that? So I went back to the oncologist, and she put me in touch with a lymphedema physiotherapist, and so it just felt like my body was this, not mine, like it was for the babies, and then suddenly I've had this surgery and it's still not mine, like it's not what I wanted it to be like and look like, and yeah, so a bit of grief around that, and also I didn't realise how, the loss or the grief that you would feel once you have your reproductive organs removed. I was having constant UTIs post-surgery, so sex became like, don't even talk to, don't even go there, don't even want to know about it, because every time we have sex it hurts, and it's just, I end up with a UTI.
Sex early on after the hysterectomy was not great for Sherry, and there's still hesitance around it, and I understand that. She's been through a big traumatic process, and her body still hasn't recovered, and it probably won't recover 100% from it. There's a lot of resentment towards it. It's robbed a big chunk of our life, I suppose.
I wish I'd probably had have asked more questions and spent more time, instead of having the consult and the doctors sort of winding you up, just sort of say, hang on a minute, I've got some questions.
The biggest thing that stuck out to me is the lack of support for women, and that there is specialist GPs for women to go and see, but it's not publicised, like it's not discussed. It's to find that information, it's really difficult. And then the follow-up medications and treatments and stuff like that, it's extremely expensive.